Wow. I don't know what it looks like, but it's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually long. This is so crazy. Hi there. I'm just testing a theory. And the theory is, did you see how that compiled? That's, I thought just for a second, maybe it was because I changed my unit test program. But as you saw, if you were watching, I undid that change and it still compiled without turning off the recorder. Because I have a theory that the reason for that slowdown is that the bit rate is too high. I still can't double click. But maybe if I change the rate of double clicking, I didn't do a system restore, by the way. See, one of the things was, I don't know, it might show up in one of those other videos. I want it fast, I want it as slow as possible. And then I can't, it doesn't do anything. I don't know how to click. I know it worked at one point. Anyway, during the whole fiasco yesterday or last night, whenever it was, I noticed that my C drive, the space was going down and down and down. And when I got rid of that, when I turned off all those services and got rid of the zone alarm, whatever, and put this. No, don't tell. Oh, there we go. Okay. I put this. Go away. The Microsoft antivirus back, and the Microsoft firewall. Now I get all these like extra connections and stuff, and they don't go away. They're peer-to-peer connections. Well, these ones seem to have been here, and they don't flush out. I mean, the ones that say time wait, I mean, those have been there forever. That doesn't. 1681. That's like those are local addresses, right? This is normal. There should be some established. But why have I got? On a local machine, the modem is 192.168.1.100 probably, and this is the laptop, and this is the modem, maybe. No, this is the laptop. Okay, so yeah, I'm 1 and the modem's 100. It's local. And so why am I connected to the modem 1,000 times? And then eventually these ones will come up that are in that new, these ones. Okay, there are only 2 this time. But this thing, this is the new format. What's it called? Something with a 6 in it. Anyway, these, if they're established, they can stay established for as long as they want. An hour later, it's still established. But I don't seem to get that many anymore because I don't think they're, whatever the trick is, right, they're able to stay established, but they're not able to get anything anymore. And my theory is that there was about 5 gigs missing from here, right? And it must be that however this thing works, it creates a store on the C drive, and it transfers using the thousands or millions of holes in the operating system. Like either if it's not media player, okay, we'll use SQL server. Okay, that one's not working. We'll use plug and play NetBIOS remote manager X or whatever, right? But there's so much junk going on. There's no way to plug the hole. I don't think so. I was just looking at this Procmon. You know this program? Okay, I actually don't even need this. Okay, just SVC host. Any either SVC host. Okay. Now, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6. So let's say that's 10 seconds or so. I'll stop. So in 10 seconds it generated 25,000 events. And just have a look at some of these events. They're all very readable. The registry ones are the most intelligible. Did I exclude registry? Oh, here we go. Yeah. See? Now there are all these what they call devices on the system. It's very understandable. It's an E2D1FF34345849898888DA blah 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 blah. PC Van Subsys Thing Revision 6 blah. Okay, now in a symbolic link, yada yada yada. Okay. So symbolic link. So this is some kind of hyperlink. I guess. Or I guess it maybe just points to. Well, I guess it depends on what PCI is, doesn't it? Some of these entries, these are devices. Let's see, root, MS, NDIS, WAN IP. Let's see. Okay. Now, this here could stand for, it's a COM object, could be anything. It might stand for a directory. Same thing, they're all the same. Control, PCI, ETH, that sounds like Bluetooth. It doesn't matter probably if it's installed or not. All someone's got to do is start up SVC host and And then you can go walking through all of these devices. And one type of device on the system is a file. Another type of device is an indexer. Another type of device is a directory walker, IDE, CD-ROM, you know. Now, to gain access to devices on a system, here, look at this. Who knows what this is? It says microphone, but come on. You think that I'm going to believe any of this stuff at this point? Could be anything. But to gain access to devices, you need to have things enabled like remote procedure call, and things that access the various abstract devices, like this here, HD audio something, right? A lot of it's media stuff. Mic and rear panel. God knows. UMB printer bus simulator. Okay, so someone sets up a phony printer device and points it at a directory. I don't know. Like, no human can understand. This is not, at this point, by now, it's so convoluted and unreadable that you could put anything in here. You know, everything's linking back to something else. I mean, this looks like it's something to do with the CPU. It could be, but you know, but I can't tell. System root system. Whenever I see root, it kind of frightens me a little bit. And all of these things, you know, all they can have are control 1. Keyboard? Like, how many keyboards have I got going? This maybe is a remote desktop procedure keyboard. So we got a remote keyboard, you know, so now somebody can type in something remotely, like change drives to such and so. But then I turned off all the services, right? I turned off all those buggy services. And then later on, this thing came up and said, well, one thing is I managed to get the histories back on for the scheduler. And then this thing said, okay, ready to install updates as scheduled, right? But I had disabled the update services. But it must have been that when I installed this thing, even though I didn't ask it to, it was trying to help me out, and it must have turned the updating service back on. Luckily, though, I got a warning and I turned it off. But there's just simply, look at all this stuff. Media interfaces. What do you think it does? You know, WDM streaming. All of this stuff has to do with the big catch everything phrase. Connecting. Get connected, you know. Be connected. Connect. And And that's what all this media center is about. Being connected, you know, share your photos and share this and share that, you know. Open your drive up and have a ball. And it's so in order to do that, you have to have remote procedure call enabled. It's all this stuff is supposed to be about sharing family photos. Video stream, right? That's a thing that was running. But it wasn't, I'm sure it wasn't streaming video. It was probably, you know, just if you change enough of these settings that you turn a video stream into a file stream, right? Video is just a file. Video proc and property pages. Group provider. SCSI port. Look at all this. You know, I don't have a SCSI drive. Scanner. All this stuff is set up, but you can make virtual of any device, right? You can make a virtual version of it because it's COM. That's the thing. That COM's great and everything, and that you can abstract anything you want, and all you got to do is make something that derives from one of those classes, and you can make any one type of thing look like any other type of thing. And so all it is interfaces. Well, most interfaces have to do with sending things and receiving things. And remote procedure call, of course, that's DCOM. So that means that pretty much every device might be anything, right? It's nothing is necessarily what it says it is. And how are you supposed to search for? Look at all this terminal search. Hey, why was that there for a minute? I've got it off, but I don't know. Connection handler. Who's going to start searching for these numbers to see what it is? Session arbitration. Keyboard type matching. Video. What do you suppose this might be about? That does look like video. It doesn't have to be like this, and this is nothing. I mean, it's not meaningful to me. Encoded mirror driver. Who knows what it is? This number might be somewhere else. Virtual drivers. Of course, there's nothing here. Because you know, that's too obvious a place to look. That would be where I would, if I was going to try to hijack someone's computer. That's where I'd put my crack. Put it there. Nobody would look there. When log on. .3 service. Okay, well now this looks like normal thing. Sends. Start as user. Now sends doesn't, that sounds scary. This of course is the big fear. Don't know what this is. WMI. What's in this blogger? NetBT trace. I don't know. I can't express with enough emphasis what a load of madness this is. Like, I just want to turn every single thing, everything on, you know? Start from scratch. Find out what do I really need to run this thing. That video went on for quite a while. I don't think I'll keep it at this setting for the. It does compile, but it's a little bit too chunky. But maybe I can find a better balance where at least I can compile and the image will be clearer, but it won't be as good as it has been in the last, I don't know how long. I've had it on 2K video, and 2K seems to be too much processing for the to compile a program. But I think you understood the point I was getting at. See, now the whole, I think I mentioned something like this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. You won't be able to hear the audio of this unless I change the settings. I could do that, but I'd have to start over. But I don't know if you remember this video. This was lesson 60, I think. It says 60 anyway. Where I went back to look at this project as an example. To look at this project, the failed ID3 lib project, and they had these classes where all of the functions are virtual. See, everything virtual, everything exploited. Which I never actually followed up on my comment. I said, which is kind of strange, and it is strange that you would have all of these functions virtual and exported. I mean, if a thing is if an object has a virtual function table, then you don't need an export table, right? All you can hand them is a pointer, as long as they know the format of the class. They wouldn't require any other linking, unless the class had data. But none of these classes have any data. They're like COM objects. Now, I've been talking about COM before moving on to this subject. I talked about COM, and I don't know if you saw or if you remember, but before going on with that, I said that there was a point at which that COM looked like a good idea, right? And probably, if you saw those videos, you may have gotten that impression that it does look like a kind of a good idea, because in one step, you solve a whole bunch of problems, and everything uses the same interface, and it's portable, works on every platform, and it's completely seamless encapsulation, right? That's what COM is all about. Encapsulation. Okay. Well, that's like this, right? The idea of what's happened with Windows is that everything, I mean, I don't mean just a few things, but everything is calm, is going to either is calm or will be calm soon. I don't remember where I was reading it, but in one of those books about calm, we were explaining how, for instance, you know, these controls, these are calm objects. That's a calm object. The buttons, list boxes, combo box. It's a calm object. This here is a calm. The code that implements this combo box is a calm object, or if it isn't, it will be. And the view now is to switch everything to calm, right? So that everything will be portable, and all we need to know is what the interface is, and life is going to be great. So what that means essentially is that everything, including this checkbox, will be virtual. Everything's virtual. Everything has a virtual function table. Every object, every single thing on the screen, anything you can touch, anything you can click, has a replaceable function set. Do you see what I mean? Each one of those function sets is a hole where you can is a potential security hole where you can put code behind your code behind anything, any object, any visual things, tabs, the notepad, the little balloon bubbles, to do whatever you want. And all you have to do is modify values in the registry. By using the registry, you can make anything you want look and behave in any way you want. Some of the behavior visible and some of it invisible. And there's no way that anybody's going to be able to hunt down all of the leaks, all of the holes. All of this is cross-referenced, as I've mentioned before, right? These pointers, whatever they are, everything. Well, here's one that actually gives a path, right? But typically, you've got to go about 6 steps before you finally get to where the code is. And by that time, you're so sleepy that you've forgotten what you were searching for in the first place. Because usually you find something, and then, okay, that's another class. This class ID doesn't tell you what it does. It just tells you a name, and you might be able to hunt down a DLL. But even if you do, a DLL that supports a particular interface, even if you knew the interface, may support other extended bits that you don't have to know about, and it's all replaceable. It's all virtual, and the point I was making in that other video was that when everything is virtual, then you can't trust anything anymore, right? Because everything could have been overridden, and that's what this whole business. Everything's virtual, and you can't trust any of it. An e-home drop target. Here's something. Okay. Oh, I can't double click it. Hang on a second. Okay. Now here I am uploading some files. hidden the names to protect the guilty, like myself. Now, one time I was this was running as it normally does, and suddenly my screen changed to what looked like a whole new desktop with a message saying somebody's trying to talk to you and there's an incompatibility. Okay, what? And I actually wanted to find out what the hell was going on. Well, that might actually be going on, because watch this. Let's see now. Where is that setting? Okay. Now that would be a user interaction, right? Like a user is interacting with me. Now the question is, I'm going to ask is, do you think someone's interacting with me now? I don't know, but I'm going to click this, and because it doesn't seem like it. Oh, all the transfers stopped. So there's a user interaction going on, because I've just asked it to stop transfers when there's a user interaction occurring, right? Now that lets it get going again. Explain that one. There's something going on behind the scenes, and I don't know about it. I don't know how it works. I've checked online. You know, what is user interaction? And the best I could find was somebody said, "Oh, your transfers have all stopped." Oh, then what do? You go and you unclick this checkbox that says "Stop transfers on user interaction." But they seem completely unconcerned about the fact that, according to the program, there's some remote interaction going on, and I'm unaware of it. Two people are maybe talking to each other through this program, and I don't know how. Anyway, I want to get back to the U-test here. I'm going to quickly demonstrate one of the things I asserted about the fact of the local descriptor switch. Well, I tried an experiment, and definitely we can see that at least the FS the table for the FS segment is a thread dependent. Okay, this is just I don't know what you call this, a rant. This is a rant. Okay, send it up as a rant, and I'll come back with something better. The other bit at the end is something very confusing, and I'm going to hang on to that bit. I don't know what to make of it. See you.